All right, welcome everyone. Welcome once again. This is our second webinar. Today we're gonna work on the fear of the future. So I'm really curious how many of you have the fear of the future. You can write in the chat box who has the fear of the future. Right, so I created a small presentation to give you more clarity and to give you a little bit of structure of this webinar. The webinar will last about 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. In the first part, I'm gonna present what is the method, who I am, and why it's important to change the subconscious mind, and especially what is this technique that you can change and reprogram any limiting beliefs, fears, and release any negative emotions in minutes by making some verbal commands. So in the first part of the webinar, I will give you a lot of valuable information and clarity. And then on the second part, we will do some demonstrations with the technique, and each one of you will be able to experience the technique. So welcome everyone. Let's start with the small presentation that I've created here to have more structure. All right, let me share the screen. Okay. So at the end of this webinar, you will feel an intense transformation in your life that you never thought possible. Yeah. And also at the end, you will see a gift, you will receive a gift, you will be able to see how you can enroll for a free one-on-one session with me or one of my facilitators. So once again, today we're going to work on the fear of the future. So the scheduling of the webinar, as I shared with you in the first part, I will share some valuable information about the technique. Then we will work on the fear of the future. You're going to be able to see the results instantly. You're going to be able to measure how intense and true is the fear of the future in the beginning. And you will see that at the end of the webinar, you will literally not be able to think about the fear of the future. The fear of the future is the main cause for anxiety. So if you guys have anxiety or an unhappy life, the fear of the future is most of the time the main cause of this problem. And obviously at the end, we're gonna have a Q&A. If you have any questions for me about anything, yeah, I'm open to answer to all of your questions. So if you want to see results, be present. Yeah, make sure you won't be disturbed. Turn off your social media and other distractions. Be fully engaged in this process and stay present, especially during the time when I'm gonna make the commands. That's when you need to stay focused and present. Cool. So why do we reprogram the subconscious mind? Yeah, so modern psychology shows that 90 to 95% of what we do every day comes from the program recorded in the past and not from the conscious thinking. Yeah, that means that you wake up every day and you have same emotions, same reactions, same behavior. Everything is repeating in your life based on the emotional programming that you have in your subconscious mind. Yeah, and 95% of the thoughts and emotions and also the emotional reactions that you feel today, even a week ago, you're going to feel them tomorrow and over a week from now. So everything is repeating based on the subconscious programming that we have. That's why it's very important. So if you have a fear that is repeating in your life, if you have a negative pattern, if you have a blockage in relationships or in finances or in any aspect of your life, the main cause is the subconscious programming that you have gathered along your life. Yeah. So why does this matter to you? Yeah, fear, anger, shame, lack of confidence will keep repeating in your life, no matter how positive you try to think. And by the way, how many of you have tried to to force the positive thinking or to do affirmations and you saw that it's not working? You can raise your hand, because you will see that the subconscious mind does not listen to affirmations, to positive thinking, to intentions, to affirmations, but it obeys to commands. Whenever you have a fear or limit or a negative emotion, you will see how simple it is to reprogram it with a command. Cool. And what is the mental reprogramming technique and who I am, first of all, because I didn't introduce myself yet. So welcome everyone. I see we are already 56 participants. So with this mental reprogramming technique, you can release any negative emotions or anxiety instantly. You can change any limiting beliefs or fears. And the most incredible part about this method that created a huge community across the world, and especially in Romania in the last years, is that you can see the results instantly. So for example, if you had anxiety or a fear for years every day, or you had a trauma, and whenever you think about the trauma, you feel the negative reaction, you're gonna see after applying this method, you won't be able to put the finger on that fear. You will see the results instantly. Yeah, you will never be able to think negatively about that topic that we've worked on. It's easy to learn and practice for everyone. We have over 2,000 students already that learn the method, and they learn how to apply it on themselves. On others, it's very simple to learn. And we have over 3,000 testimonials and case studies in the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years already. And we've done over 100 free workshops with live demonstrations, a lot of them in Bucharest and in different cities across Europe, with live demonstrations where literally everybody was able to see the results instantly. All right, and I'm gonna continue with my story. So welcome everyone. I see that we're almost 60 participants now. So for those of you that don't know me or doesn't seen or have not seen the presentation from the school committee, my name is Emanuel. I'm 32 years old, and in this moment in my life, I live an incredible life. I'm financially and emotionally free since over 7 years already. I'm traveling around the world. I have amazing relationships, and I have this level of consciousness that I call emotional freedom, which means that I can literally let my mind think of any situation, past, present, future, and I cannot find any negative emotion. I cannot find any negative thought whenever I think about any area of my life. And literally, I wake up with enthusiasm and joy, and I go to sleep with enthusiasm and joy. But my life wasn't always like this. I woke up in a complex family where I've experienced a lot of domestic violence and poverty. And I grew up with this deep belief that I don't deserve to live. And I had social anxiety and panic attacks until I was 26 years old. Mainly because my father, he told me since I was very young that it may be my mistake, and he was rejecting me, asking me to leave the house and telling me how happy was he if I was not there. And I was humiliated and bullied on all the social environments I was in, at school, at high school, even in the college. And I felt social anxiety, even, for example, when I was 26 years old, living in London and being a student. Literally every day, I felt that constant social anxiety. I was ashamed of myself. I didn't have confidence in me. And I live, a very basic and I was living in suffering. But because I woke up spiritually since I was 13 years old, and I started to work a lot on myself, I started to read a lot of books about spirituality, about self-development, and I became literally fascinated about this idea that we can create our experience of reality, our experience of life with our thoughts and emotions. And when I was in London for about 6 years, it was a period in my life where I was so desperate to heal myself. I was trying a lot of things, a lot of therapies, and I was waking up every day at 5 a.m. doing a lot of affirmations, meditations, and a lot of therapies like Psyche, Theta Healing, Timeline Healing, Silva Method. I've done even ayahuasca 24 times, and I was spending a lot of money to a lot of healers, a lot of gurus around the world trying to heal myself, and a lot of yoga. And I was literally very desperate, but very dedicated to heal myself and to overcome the anxiety, the poverty, and all the traumas that I was facing and all the suffering. And the conclusion to what I got actually after doing a lot of work on myself and being surrounded by a lot of people that also were doing a lot of work on themselves and a lot of therapies after many years, the conclusion was that not a lot of things are working actually. And most of the people that I was surrounded with in London or even in Bucharest, a lot of people that were wake ups spiritually, and they were working on themselves, reading books and trying a lot of techniques and therapies, they were still at the same level after many years of self-development and practices and so on. And this is also the story of most of the people that come to experience this method. Yeah, they all telling me that, hey, I lost the hope after so many years of self-development and trying a lot of techniques and methods and manifestation and so on. And I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah, and the story of the technique is that I received it almost 4 years ago from a friend of mine, and it was a basic version of the method. And I literally adapted to my understanding after a lot of work on myself and doing a lot of work with others, and understanding deeply how the subconscious mind works and doing a lot of work on myself. I've adapted this method to my understanding, and I started to apply it on people. And I saw that people had instant and even miraculous changes, like people with after 45 years of depression and anxiety, just making a few commands into their subconscious mind, they were able to see results. They were able to not feel that anxiety anymore on the spot. And this is what you also gonna be able to experience today. And once again, my intention is for you is just to experience this method. For example, another challenge that I have in Romania, where I have over 2,000 students, is that people feel very skeptical about this method, and that's all right. And congratulations to you that for taking the time to be here today and being open to experience this method. And once again, my intention is for you just to experience this method, to see results and to see what is actually possible. Yeah. So let's continue with the presentation. So this is the story of how everything started. And just to clarify, I never done any course or any, I don't know, self-development method in order to make a career in this field. But because I transform myself and I managed to find this discovery that lead to so many people having incredible results, I started to create this incredible community, and people have learned to practice how to apply it on themselves, on others. But let's continue with the presentation to give you more details about the method. So what is the results of changing the subconscious mind? First of all, it's not about manifestation, but it's about changing your emotional reactions. It's about helping you to not think negatively anymore without forcing it. Yeah, without forcing with affirmations and positive thinking and writing on the journal, you will literally not be able to think negatively. Yeah, it's not about manifesting something in your life. What I discovered is that changing your emotional reactions is the most valuable thing you can have in this world. Because let's say, for example, that you can have $500,000 in your bank account, but you will feel anxious. You will have the fear that you will lose the money. You might have anxiety or fear of the future or a low self-esteem. Yeah. And let's give another scenario where you have only $5,000 in your bank account, but you wake up every day with joy and enthusiasm. You are emotional free. Yeah, you have no fears of the future. You have a high self-esteem, and you literally wake up with joy and enthusiasm every day, and you go to sleep with joy and enthusiasm every day. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what is happening in your life. What matters is how you react to what is happening in your life. And subconscious reprogramming is about changing the reactions to what is happening in your life and what you have in your life. Yeah, so it's not necessarily about manifestation. I cannot guarantee, even if we do, I don't know, 10 private sessions and you reprogram literally all the negativity from your subconscious mind and you're going to become emotionally free, I cannot guarantee that you will make more money or, I don't know, manifest whatever things in your life. But what I can guarantee is that you're gonna have an incredible life for the rest of your life. Because once you've done this work and you've changed your subconscious mind, you're gonna live on that high frequency forever. Yeah, because most of the limiting beliefs and fears and traumas and negative emotions have been stored into our subconscious mind after a trauma, after we had an intense emotional experience in our life, and that memory remains in our system, remains in our cellular memory, and you feel it every day. Yeah. So that's what the subconscious reprogramming is doing. It breaks out old patterns, and you will no longer repeat the same mistakes in relationships, finances, health, and you will literally be able to think positively on a daily basis. Cool. So what do we have here? This is a very interesting exercise that will give you a lot of clarity about what is in your subconscious mind. Because you see, a lot of people are doing a lot of self-development and therapies and spiritual practices, but they cannot measure and quantify the results. And this is the main issue why people are complaining always that, you know, they are at the same level after so many years of self-development and self-help, because they cannot measure and quantify. And with this exercise, you're going to be able to see exactly where are you in point A at the moment, and what is your subconscious programming, and where you need to go in point B, where you're going to be completely free and you're going to have an incredible life every day. Yeah, because if everything is controlled by your subconscious mind, then we need to identify what is in your subconscious mind. Let's say, for example, when you go to a doctor, the first thing that the doctor does is like a blood test. Yeah, they need to see, they need to do an identification of what are your issues, and then they give you a solution. It's the same here. We need to do the identification to see exactly what is your level, what fears and limiting beliefs you have in your subconscious mind, and how much you need to work until you become completely free. Yeah, so this is a very pragmatical way of applying this method. So what you have to do is very simple. By the way, guys, if you want, I can share the list with you. You don't need necessarily to take a picture. I can share it with you after the session. So what you have to do is to write next to each fear how intense and true it is for you on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10. Yeah, so we have, for example, the fear of the future. Think about the fear of the future and see how intense it is, this fear for you, when you think about it. If you cannot think about it, that means it's not there. So yeah, so just write a number, and you have then the fear of the failure, the fear of rejection, of loneliness, of judgment, of success, of criticism, of death, of illness, of poverty, of loss, and the belief that I'm not good enough, and so on. And once you identify and reprogram all of these beliefs, that you know that you've done all of the work that is possible to reprogram your subconscious mind. Because here is the thing, if you want a long lasting powerful transformation in your life, the only thing that you have to do is literally to reprogram all that list. This is the only solution that I know, is to literally reprogram all the subconscious mind, and not to do just a superficial work on, I don't know, working just on the fear of success and you're gonna expect and pretend to have success after that. No, you have to work on all of these fears and limiting beliefs. And if another 1 year or 2 years have passed and none of these beliefs or fears have lowered in intensity, you're gonna live the same life. Yeah, your next year will be literally like this year and like last year. And perhaps you see that everything repeats in your life. It doesn't matter if you change your job, if you change your social environment, if you change the country, you're gonna have same results and same situations year after year. For example, when I had a social anxiety, I was feeling it every day. It doesn't matter if I was in London, in Bucharest, in Paris, wherever I was, I felt the same. I was carrying with myself, yeah, the burden of the of my past, the burden of the social anxiety wherever I was, until I've literally reprogrammed everything. And I've done so much emotional freedom exercises and practices to the point where I could once again let my mind think of any situation, past, present, future, and I could not feel any negative emotion. That is an incredible, you know, state of being. Cool. Do you like it so far? By the way, guys, you can write in the chat if you like it, if you like the information that you're seeing. Welcome everyone. We are 66 participants at the moment. So how does the technique works? It works in 3 simple steps. First of all, we have to identify clearly what is the fear. So for example, we're going to work today on the fear of the future. And I'm going to ask you at some point to write in the chat how intense and true it is, this fear of the future for you. So we have to measure it in the beginning and measure it at the end. Yeah. And the second step is to make a command. And once again, why we do commands? Because the subconscious mind does not listen to affirmations, to positive thinking, to intentions, to wishful thinking. It obeys to command. Even though it sounds crazy that the subconscious mind obeys to commands, you're going to be able to experience this as many times as you want until you convince yourself like that, yes, the technique does actually what I say it does, and you can take the decision then if you want to learn this method and to transform your life completely forever. And the third step is to confirm the change. So we identify the fear, we make the command, and then you will see the change instantly. And we don't use entities, external powers, positive thinking, auto-suggestions, or hypnosis. We use the power of our consciousness to change ourselves, yeah, which is a very clean technique that you can experience. And by the way, no one has ever complained about changing their subconscious mind. The worst thing that can happen is that it will not work for you. So don't worry, you are in good in good hands. This method was experienced by over 10,000 people in the last years, and nobody ever complained. Nobody had any side effects. Okay, and we got to the demonstrations. So now you're gonna see how the method works. Okay, let me see your comments. So guys, let's take a few deep breaths in. I know that I speak very fast when I get enthusiastic, and I usually get very enthusiastic when I speak about this method and my story and everything that I'm doing. So take a few deep breaths, and let's integrate the information. Why would it not work for some people? No, it's working for everyone. You just have to experience it, and you are at the right place to experience it. Okay, Harry is excited. So guys, now I want all of you to be present, and please write in the chat box how intense and true it is for you, the fear of the future, when you think about it. Just write in the chat box how intense and true it is, the fear of the future, on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10 when you think about it right now. Just write a number. So think about the fear of the future, feel it, and see how intense it is. And let's see the comments. All right, so we have 10, 8, 8, 10, 7, 2, 8, 0, Wilbrand. Okay, 4, 7, 10, 9.99, 10, 1, 8, 4.5, 8, 2, 8.5, 8, 8, 7. Okay, so it's quite intense and visible for everyone. Especially, I'm curious how many of you feel anxiety right now. You can write in the chat box, yes, if you feel anxiety right now. Okay, perfect. Because the anxiety is usually related to the fear of the future. And you're also gonna do some, we're gonna do some emotional releasing. Cool. So everybody checked how intense it is, the fear of the future. Okay, let's take now some people from the participants, and I'm gonna do a very interesting exercise where we're gonna do a digging exercise, it's called, where we're gonna find out what is behind the fear of the future. So you can open your camera if you want to be chosen, for example, and I want to take at least a man and a woman. So I see Chris Hopper here. You have the camera open. Do you have the fear of the future? You can raise your hand if you have the fear of the future. If not, okay, we see Gret here, and also Chris Hopper. Also,
yeah, hey.
Onur. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, doing all right. How about you?
Amazing, amazing. Where are you in this moment?
I'm in Boulder, Colorado.
Okay, amazing. Welcome to this webinar, and congratulations for being open. Let me write you here, because I'm gonna write everything down. And tell me first of all how intense it is, the fear of the future, on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10 for you.
I mean, for me, I'd say in the 3 to 5 range.
It's not that intense.
So it's not super intense.
Okay.
But I've been working my butt off through a living with trauma, CPTSD for like 7 years. So I feel like I'm finally sort of crossing some sort of threshold.
Well, congratulations for your results and discipline.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's say it's a 4, yeah? It's a 3 or a 5, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's try to do the exercise anyway, even though ideally is to have the fear over at least a 5 on a scale of intensity, but even a 4, you can put the finger in it. I mean, you can feel a little bit of anxiety about the future, a little bit of insecurity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yep.
this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. And if you try to give me explanations, I will stop you. And the purpose of these questions is to find out what is behind this belief, because most of the time the beliefs are not individual; they are connected to one another, and you need to go to the root of the beliefs, of the fears, to see exactly what is in your subconscious mind. It will be a fascinating exercise, even though the questions might seem a little bit uncomfortable, but we have to have the courage to look into the subconscious mind to see exactly what are the fears there, because if we don't identify them, we're not going to be able to reprogram them. So this is the purpose of this exercise, and I'm going to take a couple of more people from the audience to do this exercise, okay? So Chris,
Okay.
tell me the first words that are coming to your mind. Why are you afraid of the future? The first words.
Not healed. That lack of financial abundance, and that I won't be healed.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are not healed and you have financial insecurity?
Sorry, ask that one more time. I didn't quite catch you.
What is the worst that can happen if you will never be healed and you have financial insecurity? The first words that are coming to
Oh,
your mind.
yeah. Lack of purpose, directionless, failing God.
And what is the worst that can happen if you have no purpose and you failed God? The first words that are coming to your mind.
Nothing's coming to my mind for that one.
What is the worst that can happen if you have financial insecurity and you have no purpose?
I mean, experiencing homelessness, falling into addiction.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will be homeless and full of addictions?
Death.
And what is the worst that can happen if you die?
Nothing.
And when you think about these fears, do you feel a negative emotion like a heaviness in your chest or an emptiness in your stomach? Do you feel a negative sensation in your body right now? What do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a lot. It's somewhat intense being on the spot in front of a bunch of people, but yeah, I feel like a shakiness kind of in front of my body, in my
In the chest,
chest.
in the chest. It is like a pressure,
Yep, and I feel a heat
anxiety.
in my face.
Okay.
Yep.
And describe me what do you feel in the chest? Is a fear or an anxiety, a heaviness?
More like a withdrawing, where it's like when I feel in love, I feel full, and
Mm-hmm.
in this instance, it's more like my fullness is withdrawn behind my back.
Okay, like a okay, like a
Yes, it's
compaction.
more like an emptiness.
Okay. And how intense you feel this sensation in your chest right now on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10?
7 or 8.
Okay, so it's quite intense.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, thank you so much for this exercise. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take a few more participants to do exactly the same exercise. And then I'm going to make the commands to all of the participants, to all of you, and all of you will be able to experience the technique, even though obviously it's more efficient to do this identification exercise, this digging exercise, as we call it, to each one of you individually, but you're going to be able to experience it also individually. So Chris, stay here. You can mute your microphone, and I'm going to ask you after I'm making the commands, how do you feel and how was your experience? Okay. So thank you so much. Let's take another one. Grit or Gonu, who have raised your hand that you want to do this exercise. I also want to take a lady. Okay, I'm gonna take both of you actually. Grit and Gono, I send you a request to open your microphone. Hi, Grit.
Yeah. Hi.
Is that your name?
Hi.
Grit? Hi.
My name is Litya.
Litya.
Hi.
Hi, Litya. Where are you in this moment? Where are you from?
I'm from Belgium.
Okay, amazing. Congratulations for being here. Please tell me, Litya, how intense and true is the fear of the future for you when you think about it?
I rated it an 8.
Okay. Okay, so you saw the process. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. And if you try to give me explanations, I will stop you, okay?
Yeah.
So tell me, why are you afraid of the future?
I'm afraid of the future because I think it's more violent than it used to be. And I am afraid that I will get poor. I have no money later on because everything is so expensive.
Okay, and what is the worst that can happen if you will get poor and have no money? Tell me just the first words that are coming to your mind.
No house, no food, no. I'm losing friends. I'm not social anymore. Do not go to social meetings or.
Okay, and what is the worst that can happen if you have no more friends and no more social life?
I get miserable and grumpy and maybe addicted and all alone.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're miserable and fall into addictions?
That I'm nobody, that I'm going away. I'm not existing anymore.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are nobody and you don't exist anymore?
The worst thing that I don't know.
And you feel any negative emotion when you think about these fears? Do you feel an emptiness in your stomach or in a solar plexus? What do you feel?
Pressure on the chest. I'm breathing very heavy, and my heart rate is going fast.
So you have anxiety, fear.
Mm-hmm.
How intense do you feel the anxiety on the chest from 0 to 10?
The last days, it's about an 8.
Okay, so you feel it of an 8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Litya, thank you so much for the exercise. So stay until the end. I'm gonna do the commands in a few moments, and I'm gonna ask you how you feel after. Yeah, you can close your microphone and wait to see the results, and I'm curious how you will feel after. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, let's take the next. Okay, Gonul, I think you've raised your hand to do the exercise. I've sent you a request to open the microphone. Hi, Gonul is your name. Hi there.
Hi.
So Gonul is your name?
Yes, that's true. Can you?
Amazing. Where are you from? Where are you in this moment?
I'm in New York, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, amazing. Okay, tell me how intense and true it is the fear of the future for you on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10 right now.
I actually sent 10, and I picked 10 because whatever steps I try to do in my mind, and physically I'm not doing anything. That's the thing. Something is holding me back.
Okay.
That makes me fear a lot.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what is also the story in your subconscious mind. Let's see what fears you have there. So, Conal, you saw the exercise. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind. Why are you afraid of the future? The first words only, no explanations.
I don't see the future. It's blank.
Why you don't see the future?
Because no emotion, no plan, nothing. I don't see anything.
And what is the worst that can happen if you have no plans and you don't see the future?
That's how I feel. That's what I feel.
Okay, and what is the worst that can happen if you don't see the future and you have no plans?
Just lost, maybe.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are always lost?
Cannot identify.
And what is the worst that can happen if you cannot identify yourself?
It's gone.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are gone?
Nothing.
So why are you afraid that you're gonna lose your identity and you'll be gone?
Nothing.
Okay, and you feel any negative emotion when you think about the fear of the future?
Just scared of it.
Why are you scared of the future?
Maybe not trusting to myself anymore.
Why you don't trust yourself?
Attend and not successful anymore. Intend and then.
What is the worst that can happen if you're not successful anymore?
Come again?
Hmm?
Can you repeat it again?
What is the worst that can happen if you are not successful?
Oh, the worst. Be nothing. Just
Okay. And you feel a negative emotion when you think about the fear of the future, like a sensation in your body, an emptiness in your
sadness.
stomach, tension, or an anxiety? What do you feel?
Sadness.
Where do you feel this tightness?
The sadness is whatever.
No, where do you feel it in the
Whatever.
body? Where do you feel it in the
What I
body?
feel. It's like on my chest.
In the chest. Okay. Thank you. And how intense do you feel the sadness in the chest?
You can say 7.
7. Okay. Okay, Gonol, thank you so much. So in a couple of moments, I will make the commands and I will ask you how you feel after that. Yeah. But I want to take another participant, maybe somebody who has anxiety. So Gonol, thank you so much. You can close your microphone. So raise your hand, somebody who has anxiety, who has the fear of the future very intense. You can raise your hand or, okay, Angeline. Angeline, I've sent you a request to open your microphone.
Did I get it right?
Yes,
Oh.
yes. Hi, Angeline. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good, good.
Amazing, amazing. Where are you at the moment?
I'm in a 10.
No,
Oh,
where?
in Arizona. Sorry.
Arizona. Okay, okay, amazing. So your fear of the future is at a 10?
Yes.
Okay. Let me write it here. So you saw the exercise and how we do the digging. So just answer with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. Why are you afraid of the future?
Not being able to pay my bills.
And what is the worst that can happen if you cannot pay your bills?
I would freeze. Just like freeze up. And freezing up a little bit.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will freeze, if you are freezed?
Then I would maybe, not be able to pay a mortgage and lose my home.
And what is the
Become
worst that
homeless.
can happen if you lose your home and you become homeless?
I would have to give my golden doodle to a different family, and I wouldn't be able to eat. I'd get dirty, gross,
And what is the worst that can happen if this will happen? If you have no food and you will get dirty?
It would just be lonely and isolated, and I probably just wouldn't want to live.
And what is the worst that can happen if you don't want to live anymore?
I guess if I committed suicide.
And what is the worst that can happen if you commit suicide? The first words that are coming to your mind.
I'd have to come back down to earth and redo it all again, and I'd just be like stuck in a loop.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are stuck in a loop?
I just couldn't get free.
And you feel a negative emotion when you think about this fear? You feel an anxiety, an emptiness?
I feel it.
Or what do you feel?
Like my solar plexus
What
and
do you
my
plexus?
sacral, it just twists and twists and twists.
What do you feel in the solar plexus? It's like a fear, an anxiety, a tension, a pulsation. What do you feel? Explain to me.
It's just like an anxiety.
Okay, it's a fear.
Yes, I think so.
And how intense do you feel it right now on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10?
It's a 10.
Okay.
I've been doing lots of different things, but it's still a 10.
Okay. Thank you so much, Angeline, for being open to do this exercise.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to ask you at the end, how do you feel? You can close your microphone until then. So guys, if you look, for example, at this list of fears that we have identified in each one of you in your subconscious mind, all of these beliefs are programs that are installed in your subconscious mind. If you do, for example, muscle testing or other forms of identifying if those beliefs are installed in your subconscious mind, you will see that those are installed. For example, even the belief that I will commit suicide and I don't want to live, those are deep beliefs, yeah, that influence how you feel and the way you react to life. And that's why it's important to identify them and to reprogram them one by one. Even though they seem to be very uncomfortable or very negative, that's the reality that we live in. It's not like we need to accept it or whatever, but we need to become aware and then to reprogram them. Yeah, we cannot ignore them. That's why it's important to bring awareness to the problem and then to take the decision to change them. Because without awareness, there is no change. If we don't have the courage to look into our subconscious mind and to see exactly what fears are there, we will not be able to change ourselves. Make sense? Okay, guys, so let's take another few deep breaths in. And we're gonna start to make the commands. So I'm gonna make the commands at the second person. So it's gonna be like I'm making it for each one of you individually at the same time. So what I'm going to do to give you more clarity, I'm going to command your subconscious mind to take all of each of these limiting beliefs and fears that we have identified. I will command them to be taken from you, send it to the universal consciousness, and reprogram them with something else. So I'm literally going to make commands your subconscious mind to change all of the timelines where you have those limiting beliefs and fears. It's going to take me about 10 to 15 minutes to make the commands. If you want to see results, you have to be present. You have to listen the commands clearly. Even though if you watch the recording, be present, be without distractions, listen to the commands, don't get distracted. You can close your eyes or however you want, but be present and let's start. Okay. And during the time when I'm making the commands, you can think about the fear of the future. You can feel the negative emotions that are related to the fear of the future. You can feel the anxiety and whatever negative emotions you have, yeah, negative thoughts, and just let your mind think about those fears, and we will see how you feel after. Okay, take another deep breath in, and let's start. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have all of this negative emotion that you feel in the chest area right now, like a heaviness, like a fear, an anxiety, and the sadness that you feel right now in the chest area, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed in your consciousness that you feel right now in the chest area, like an anxiety, fear, sadness, and pressure and heaviness, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness, along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel joy, power, courage, enthusiasm. And I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have a sensation of anxiety, fear, tension, stress, and the negative emotion right now in your whole body, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you feel right now, like fear, anxiety, tension, or stress, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the roots and memories, and be replaced with timelines where you feel joy, power, courage, enthusiasm, and peace. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this emptiness and this anxiety in your solar plexus and in your stomach area, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed in your consciousness that you feel right now, like an emptiness, fear, anxiety, and tension in your stomach area and the solar plexus area, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel joy, power, courage, enthusiasm, and freedom. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this belief that I cannot get free and you are stuck, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you cannot get free and you feel stuck, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel the belief that you are free and open and full of joy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are stuck in a loop, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you feel stuck in a loop, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are free, full of joy and enthusiasm. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you will commit suicide and you have the fear of death, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you will commit suicide and you are afraid to die, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you want to live and you live a life full of joy, enthusiasm, and happiness. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are lonely and isolated, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you feel lonely and isolated, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel happy, full of joy, enthusiasm, power, and courage. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you cannot survive and you have no food, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you cannot survive and you have no food, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have everything you ever wanted and you live a long and prosperous life. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are homeless and you will become homeless, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you are homeless and you will become homeless, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have always a home and you are protected, safe, and secure always, and you feel free. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you cannot pay your bills, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you cannot pay your bills, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have always more than enough money for everything. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the fear of the future, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you are afraid of the future, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are enthusiastic about the future and you feel free and happy about the future. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are not successful, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you don't feel successful, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are successful and you have everything you need always. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are lost and you lost your identity, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you are lost and you lost your identity, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are grounded, aware, conscious, and full of joy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you cannot see the future, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you don't see the future, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you see the future and you live with clarity and purpose. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are nobody, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you are nobody, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are important, precious, and valuable. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are dirty and miserable, and all the possible and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you feel dirty and miserable, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are clean, full of joy, power, enthusiasm, and light. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you lost your friends and you are alone, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you lost your friends and you are alone, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that your friends are always with you and you feel free and happy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are poor and have no money, and all the possible and existing timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you are poor and have no money, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are prosperous and you always have more than enough money for everything you need. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the fear of death and you have the belief that you're gonna die, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your subconscious mind that you're gonna die and you have the fear of death, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you will live a long and beautiful life. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you fall into addictions and you are full of addictions, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you failed into addictions and you are full of addictions, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are free of addictions and you are powerful and conscious. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have no purpose and no direction, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you have no purpose and no direction, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have purpose and you live your life with purpose, clarity, and joy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are not healed and you will never be healed, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed in your consciousness that you are not healed and you will never be healed, I command to be taken from you, collapsed, and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are healed, free, and free forever. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the receptor centers for the old timelines of you to close and to open new receptor centers for the new timelines. Okay, and take a couple of deep breaths in. You can open your eyes, stretch your body a little bit, become more present. Move yourself a little bit. It's not necessary to go into meditation while we do the commands, but it's okay. Take a few more deep breaths in. And usually you should feel the effect in about 1 or 2 minutes, but let's see how you feel, how you are. Chris, I'd like to start with you. If we can open your microphone and let's see how you feel right now. Tell me how intense it is, the fear and the emptiness that you felt into your chest area. How intense it is, the negative emotion in the chest area when you think about the fear of the future.
When I think about the future, yeah, it's a lot lighter right now.
Okay, so it's been lowered
Yeah.
from 8 to what number?
like 2.
Okay, so it's been lowered from 8 to 2, the anxiety from the chest. And the fear of the future, how intense it is right now on a mental level when you think about it?
Like a 1,
1, amazing.
maybe a
So
0.
lower. Okay, amazing. How was the experience? How does it feel to not have that fear anymore?
Well, it was interesting because, in all honesty, like I noticed a voice come in within myself that was like, well, how is this different than affirmations? And so there was kind of like a voice of doubt that I had to just be like, okay, I see you. And just what happens if I open myself to be receptive to this experience? So I had to have that little switch within myself just to like open
Allow it.
myself a little more deeply
Yeah.
to the experience. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it feels good. I'm noticing it right now.
Amazing. So you saw the difference between affirmations and making commands.
Yeah, the command thing was standing out.
Yeah.
I command my attention.
Amazing. Enjoy the change, Chris, and stay until the end, and you will see also how you can register for a free one-on-one session with me or one of my facilitators. And by the way, the first 10 people that will book the session will have the session with me. I left 10 spots for me next week. You will be able to see them. Okay, thank you so much, Chris. Enjoy the change. You can also share
All right, thank you.
your experience, how you feel maybe tomorrow or the day after in the school committee. Let's see, Litya Grit, how do you feel? If you can open your microphone, let me send you the request.
Hi.
Hi. How intense is the fear of the future?
It's a bit better than before, I guess.
Okay, how
I
intense
feel
it
a bit
is now?
The breathing is going better on my chest, and it's not that kind of pressure than before.
Amazing. And how intense it is the fear of the future on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10?
I read it before an 8, and I think now a 4 or a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been lowered about 50%, the fear. Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
How was the experience? How does it feel to not have that fear anymore?
It felt safe, I guess, or something. I felt warmer and relaxed. More
Amazing.
relaxed.
Amazing. So you see the shift, you feel lighter in your body, you don't feel the anxiety anymore.
A little bit less, yes.
Okay, amazing. Enjoy the change.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, let's take the next one. Gonul, can you open your microphone? Let's see how you feel, even though for you wasn't that intense.
Hi.
Let's see how you feel. Hi, Grit.
Oh,
Hi, Gonul.
hi. Hi.
Tell me how intense it is, the fear of the future right now.
It's like 6.
Okay. And you feel the sadness in the chest?
2.
Okay, so it's been lowered from 7 to 2, the sadness on the chest. Okay, and how do you feel? You feel lighter? How was the experience for you?
Feel lighter. Feel lighter.
Amazing.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the change.
Thank you.
Thank you. For you, it was a little bit more complicated to identify, but I'm happy that you felt the results. And let's see, Angeline, it's your turn. How are you?
Oh, hi. Better. I feel a lot of peace, more peaceful. On some of the ones that you did, I felt like little flips in my stomach. It like flipped from anxiety to like kind of like peace. I can almost feel like you pull a handful of them out. But overall, I'd say I'm at a 4.
Okay, so the fear of the future is at a 4 now.
I would say at least a 4.
From 10 to 4. And the solar
Yeah.
plexus, how does it feel? Do you feel the negative emotion in the solar plexus anymore?
I'm always monitoring it because I'm always trying to figure it out. Feels better. I still have like burping a little bit, so I don't know if that's me releasing like emotions or something.
It's okay. Process them.
Yeah.
How was the experience? How does it feel to not have that fear anymore?
Feel lighter, just a lot lighter, more peaceful.
Okay.
Not so stressed.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy to go so, you got me so like wound when we talked about it, and then it just like release, like, yeah, it's very nice.
That's the process of mental reprogramming. We identify and then we command to change, and you will see the results instantly. Congratulations, Angeline. I'm happy for your
So
results.
much.
Enjoy the
So
day.
much. Really, so excited I found you. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. So guys, I want all of you to write in the chat box right now how intense and true was in the beginning for you the fear of the future and how intense it is right now. So just write, for example, I don't know, from 8 to 3 or whatever. Just write in the chat box how intense and true was the fear of the future in the beginning on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10 and how intense it is now. So for Angeline, it's been lowered from 10 to 4, from 8 to 4, from 5 to 0, from 2 to 0. So I want all of you to write down and let's see how you feel it right now. From 10 to 2, from 4.5 to 0.1, from 9.9 to 2. Congratulations, Harry. From 8 to 4, from 10 to 3, from 4 to 2. So write all of you how intense is right now the fear of the future from 7 to 2. Congratulations. So you see, even though you haven't participated on the digging exercise, you can also see the results. But if you want to see fully how the technique works on a one-on-one session, I'm gonna show you how you can register for a free session and what it means to do this free session. Let me share with you. Okay. So once again, you can register for a free one-on-one sessions with me or one of our facilitators of 30 minutes is going to take about, and the purpose of the session is to see results and to see if this technique actually really works for you, and to to see if it resonates with you. And after that, you can take a decision if you want to learn the method and if you want to enter our program after that. So once again, the purpose of the session is to see results, to understand your situation better. And if you see results and you're happy and you want to learn the technique or work deeper with me or one of my facilitators, we can make you an offer to enter and to join our program where you can learn the method and work until we reprogram everything. And usually in the mentorship program, we're going to do 6 private sessions of 1 hour each, and you're going to get the full training of the technique. You're going to learn the technique step by step, very simple to learn. It's nothing complicated. And you're going to have full support until we literally reprogram all that list of limiting beliefs and fears, the list that you saw earlier, and you're gonna master the method to apply it on yourself, to apply it on others, and even to make a career out of this if you have the passion to work with people. And I will share with you the link right now. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me anything right now. I'm gonna put the link, just one moment, I need to find it. Hold on a moment, I need to find the link. I think it's this one. Let's see. So the first 10 people will have the session directly with me. Here is the link. Next week, I have 10 spots available for you. You can register right there from Monday to Thursday. I let a few spots open. So I just placed the link in the chat. And also, if you don't get the chance to register, you can write me on the school. You can write me in private on the school. Perhaps I've sent you already a message, like a welcoming message. You can text me on school, whatever questions you have for me, yeah, if you want to exchange our WhatsApp number, we can also chat on WhatsApp. But enroll for a free session. Yeah, we're gonna do the session and then we're gonna continue after that. And if you don't catch a spot on Calendly on the calendar right now for next week, text me on the school and I will guide you with whatever you need and want, and I can put you in contact with one of my facilitators to do the free session. So don't worry, all of you can experience the technique on 101, because doing it on 101 is completely different than doing it on a Zoom. Yeah, you are more open, it's more intimacy to open yourself and to dig deeper and to have more profound results. So guys, if you have any questions, even though it's 15 past 1 in the night, I'm here in Bali, I still have a little bit of energy to answer all of your questions. You can also even open your microphones. Hold on a moment, I'm gonna set this so you can open your microphone. Let me see how I can do this, because I don't see the option here. Hold on a moment. Yeah, you can unmute yourself now. And if you have any questions, I'm here. Are you still there, guys?
I am.
So I'm not sure if that was a question, but I saw some very beautiful, what is the name of this technique? Is basically mental reprogramming. It's a technique that I discovered and I adapted to my understanding of how subconscious mind works, and now we have it here. We are at early stages of making this technique viral and popular. So you're not gonna see and find a lot of information about it. You are very lucky to find me here out of nowhere. I feel a release, actually went into a meditation. Also, I like my mind is clear than before. Never knew I needed this. Thank you. Amazing. I feel the shift. I feel things releasing, areas that were tight. I feel my mind, my head pop and release. Like, was that? I don't feel lighter. I'm curious. I do feel lighter. I'm curious, looking forward to what is to come. Amazing. Enjoy the change. Policy resent the link. Thank you. Okay, here is the link. I guess that is the link. Let me double check actually to see if this is the link. Yeah, that is the link. That is the, oh, it's a little bit different, the link. So the last one, I think, is the one that is working. You can see a picture with myself. So use that link, the last one. I feel release. Yes, still deep sadness. It's normal that I almost fell asleep while doing the commands. It's not necessarily that you fall asleep. I mean, perhaps you're tired or you went into a deep meditation, but it's okay. You don't need to meditate. You can be sober. Yeah, you don't need to go into hypnosis or in the theta brainwave state, whatever. We just need to identify the fear very clearly, become aware of what is behind that fear or that limiting belief, make the command and check the results. Very simple. Okay, so thank you. This is something different than anything else I have tried before. Looking forward, exploring this future. Tony, congratulations for being here. I just saw something this morning about third or fifth split. This is regarding subconscious reprogramming. Are you familiar with this by any chance? About third and fifth split, I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you so much for the time. Guys, by the way, you can open your microphone if you have any questions. Please make sure you register for a free one-on-one session before the link will expire. I will put the link once again here, so you can have it. And if you
I have a question. I'm
yes,
sorry.
please. Hi.
So after this, if we did feel anything, so we shouldn't have any like negative thoughts of like our fears after this?
Yeah, if you reprogram all of the list with the main fears and limiting beliefs, you will have no negative thoughts. But today we've only worked on the fear of the future. Yeah, we didn't reprogram all of your subconscious mind and nobody became enlightened. So the technique works instantly, but we also have to be very pragmatical about it. You know, you're not going to get enlightened after making a command, but you will see the results. You will see that one of those specific fears has been reprogrammed. So perhaps you will feel a shift and a change tomorrow and in the following days. If you reprogram the fear of the future, you will definitely not gonna feel it anymore. You're not gonna have the emotional reaction when you think about it, but you will not be enlightened. Because along our life, obviously, we have stored and gathered a lot of negative beliefs and fears and traumas. So we have to take them one by one. But the beautiful part is that you have a solution and it's simply to use it. So 3D, 5D, you're asking me, Adi. Yes, I know the 3D, 5D changing the consciousness, the level of consciousness. Yes, we are in the process of that. I guess many people are waking up in the world and are becoming more aware and stop being ignorant and working on themselves and trying to better their lives. So that's a beautiful thing. So guys, any other questions? I'm gonna stay up another 5 minutes with you if you have good questions before I go to sleep. When you're gonna do this workshop, once again, not the one-on-one, we're gonna announce it perhaps next Saturday, but I'm thinking maybe to change it for Thursday. By the way, guys, it's better for you on Thursday. You can write in the chat box if it's better for you on Thursday, the same time than Saturday. Because maybe on Saturday, once again, you have plans, you want to go out, or this weekend, I couldn't schedule a session. Try once again, and Gonul, if you cannot make it, write me on the school community. You can chat with me in private.
Okay, I will try. I'm trying to on that link also.
Yeah, here is the link once again. I mean, it should work. It's nothing complicated.
It's not actually, but it's not moving on when I fill up all the form.
Hey, I've got a question or two when you're ready.
Yes, tell me.
Cool. I've seen this one in the chat a couple times. I think people and myself are curious about the difference, like how you would describe the difference between affirmations and this mental reprogramming with commands.
Okay, very good question. Let me tell you actually, when did you use the power of commands in your life? For example, when you're making like a vow or you're making like a promise and you use a power word. Yeah, so making a command is a powerful word. Yeah, for example, when a doctor or a soldier is making a vow, when he's saying, I promise and I swear to protect my country and to protect my people with my own life, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole scenario and that whole sentence is like making a command. It's like creating an energetical pattern that it will affect you forever and is creating an instant change. It's like making a clear declaration that here and now I declare that this is change. So making an affirmation is like you just repeat a thought in your mind without entering the subconscious mind. But it's not only about making the command, because, for example, I can make you a command for the fear of the future just like that, and it will not work. We have to do the digging exercise, becoming aware of the issues and the limiting beliefs and the fears that are behind the belief that we want to work on is also very important. Without that, you will not see the change. So the deeper we do the digging exercise and the deeper we go into the subconscious mind, the better and more clear is the result. So we use a power word, like a power sentence. It's also a visualization exercise that I'm doing, but you will learn this in the course. It's very simple, but that is the difference. It makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Great.
And so it is something that one could practice by themselves.
Yes, yes. It's nothing complicated. You can easily apply it on yourself, on others.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to take you just a couple of hours to learn, about 4 hours of teaching to learn all the details about the technique, because it's not a lot of information, but it's more about the practice. Yeah, to see more examples of how I'm applying this method, and you will get more clarity. This time on weekend works better for me. Thank you. I scheduled a meeting with you, but didn't get an email. You should definitely get an email from Calendly. Please double check, or maybe you didn't write your email properly. So guys, if you have any questions or any issues with scheduling the call, write me on the school committee. I will also give you my WhatsApp number if you use WhatsApp. I know that American people don't really use WhatsApp. Very weird. Why? Because all the Europeans and the rest of the world are using it. So affirmation plus commands works, or only commands? So first of all, Harry, is not about commands or affirmations. It's about becoming aware of the problem. It's about doing this digging exercise without making, bringing clarity to the root of the fear. You will not be able to reprogram it. You can make commands or affirmations and it will not work. Obviously, the command is more powerful. Yeah, it's a power word. But it's a mixture. It's not just one thing, it's an entire formula. It's an equation with many details. I can see where this technique can really bring about some real change, to experience joy, enthusiasm, and peace. Amazing. Yeah, if you want my WhatsApp number, please text me on school. I will text you there my WhatsApp number, and it's much easier to communicate there. Any last questions before we go? It's 1:30 here, but I still feel energized. I don't know how. Okay, guys. So once again, if you didn't manage to make the booking, I will put the link once again here. But if you have any challenges, text me on the school community. I will send you my WhatsApp number. We're gonna be able to communicate easier there, and keep an eye on the school community for the next webinar and the next topic that we're gonna work on, and perhaps it will be on finances. I saw a lot of you having the financial blockage, so we're gonna work perhaps on that. Guys, see you next time. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy the change, and I will talk to you in private. All the best. Goodbye.
Thank you.